Hi, Susie. I'm going to walk you through a quick video of posting a blog because I think that's one of the items you're going to be doing a lot of on your website. And I'm actually going to provide you with a checklist as well. But today I just wanted to walk you through the steps visually so that you could go back and review this if you get stuck, because I know you're learning lots of new things these days. So you can see I'm logged into your website and I've got the main menu up here under the Pages menu on the left. And to get started on the blog, we're not going to get confused by this blog up here at the top. What I've done on your site, just a quick note on this, is I've created a blog summary page, and that's just because it looks better than the standard blog page. So this page up here is actually the page I created that houses your blog post. But down here at the bottom is the actual post, and we know it's the blog because it's denoted by this letter A versus the page icon. So we're going to come down to post, and that is where we're going to see this is what the actual blog page looks like. And it's just a little, it's a little too much, even for mobile. It doesn't translate great. So this is more behind the scenes that not everybody else is going to see. So when we're ready to create the post, we're going to click on the post in the not linked section, and then we're going to basically duplicate an existing blog. It's really the easiest way to go, saving you a little bit of time. So I'm just going to click on the most recent one here, and you can see when I click on the title, I get two options here. I can edit or I can delete. And so we're going to choose edit, and it's going to open your blog post. Now, what we're going to do is come down to the bottom of that pop-up window, and we're going to choose the duplicate option. And you're going to see it's going to close that post, and it has opened a new one called copy of. And now we can just make our changes. So there are four things, four menu options up here at the top. And we're just going to walk through each one of them. So the first thing you want to be sure to do is change your blog title. So we can just highlight this text and hit delete, and this is where our new title would go. The same thing with the text. We can click in here, do a Control A and delete that text, and then we would type our new text right here in this post area. Okay. Now, just as you've learned for the rest of your website, this works just like a web page. So if I want to add a photo, I click on my insertion bubble and I choose my image block, and I go through the steps to add my image. If I want to add a button to the post, I can add a button as well. So it's going to work just like your in a web page itself. That goes for actually formatting your text. So if we need to add a link, we can do that. If we need to make it bold, if we want to use our headings, you know, all of those things are options here in your content window as well. Once you have your blog post created, you can use your tags and categories as you see fit. You do not have to add those. They do help a little bit with your SEO. It's not huge. The biggest thing I can tell you there is to be consistent. And if you do start using the categories and tags, just to stick with them and make sure you use them on all your posts. You can choose to turn your comments on or off as well. So that covers our content tab. If we hop over to our options tab, there are a couple of things we want to do here. First of all, you'll see that it's carried over my thumbnail image. So I want to hit remove, and I want to open a new image for this post. Now, you want to try to make this as square as possible, because that is what it's going to shrink it down to in the preview window. It's going to be a square image. So your thumbnail image here. You also want to change your post URL. So it's always going to have your website /post. And then you want this URL to be really short and descriptive if at all possible. So this might be, you know, a post about nutrition, and we can just use nutrition. Now, as you get more and more posts, you'll have to be more specific. But you do want to make sure this is short and sweet, because you're going to be able to share this URL directly to the post. Once you're added as a user on the site, your name will be here as the author. No one else sees that information, but yours will be here once you're added on the site as a user. And then your excerpt text. And I typically recommend just taking sort of a teaser paragraph from your post and putting it here in the excerpt. And you can definitely copy and paste. So come back to your blog post, get the main gist or a little bit of a teaser, and then just paste that right there in the excerpt text area. You don't have to worry about the featured post. We're not using that option on your website. So under options, we have our thumbnail image, our URL, and our excerpt. If we come up to location, this is going to copy over directly from the post you duplicated, so that's helpful. And typically obviously you don't want to be putting your home address out here. I would just stick with your business name and your city, state, and zip, and that is feeding into Google, which is good for you. And the last step is once you have your Facebook account connected, you will be able to do a little toggle switch here. And if you want, when you hit save and publish, when you're ready to share the post, it will actually post it to Facebook for you, which is a nice little feature to save you some time on social media. So just a quick recap, we clicked edit on the post we wanted to copy. When it popped up, we hit the duplicate option. On the content tab, we added a title. We created our blog post itself. We can add the tags and categories, and we can choose whether or not to have the comments on or off. Under options, we changed our thumbnail image and our post URL, and we added our excerpt text. Under location, we just simply double check the location copied over. And on social, we talked about how to push this content to Facebook. And that is all you need to do when creating the blog post. Now, the final step will be choosing what you want to do with this post. If we were to click save right now, it would save it as a draft, which means you could go back and play with it, edit it as you want, and no one else would be able to see it. Or if we click on the word draft, we have some options. So we can change this to published, and when we hit save, it's going to automatically publish to our site. But we could also go up here to scheduled. And then we could click right here where it says today at 10:48 a.m. and we could change the date and the time that we want the post to go live. So that's a helpful option if you're working ahead. And then again, we could put that back to draft and we could just save it as a draft, which is what I'm going to do right now. And now, one thing to note, if you choose draft, you do want to just hit save. Even if this says draft, if you hit save and publish, it's going to assume you want to go ahead and publish. So at this time, we're just going to hit save. And you can see right over here, we've got our new post saved as a draft. So you're all set to create your blog post. And I think hopefully this video will help you if you need to refer back to it at any time.